run overview of what we did this week, Ellie. We've been, as you know, we started Blue Collar about 4 years ago, and I think I can speak for everybody where we used it as a tool to help us get better as supervisors. And we got to a point where we were doing it each week and everything, and I don't know, about a month or so ago, maybe 2 months, felt like we needed something else to give us a little bit more push to bring it back in and keep pushing at it. So I got looking at Mack's website and Blue Collar website, and I was like, oh, I know, I'm sorry. The Kaizen book talked about a workshop. So I was going to reach out to Mack and ask him about what this workshop looks like. So we got to talk, and we come up with this this training. And obviously, I put it forth to Chad, and I'm sure Chad told you about it, or whatever, and got the approval to do this. So this week, we started Tuesday morning at 7:30, and it's been basically 6 hours a day of leadership training. It's been more of conversations about leadership principles. Mack and Ria has used their personal and professional experiences to explain these principles. It's been a little bit different training than a lot of people used to, where we don't play games or we didn't do a lot of PowerPoints and stuff like that. But I feel like the entire week we've all have been like zoned in and got a lot out of what we've heard so far. The last couple hours of the day was PowerPoints on what we call something called lean, cleaning up policies and your procedures and your practices to improve production, quality, costs, and that kind of stuff. So that's what we've heard this week, and what we're going to do today is have a little small graduation because it's been a long 3 days, but a very powerful 3 days, I feel like. But that's my opinion. So what I've asked everybody to do is come up to give a short description of what they got out of this week, what they feel about it, if they liked it or not, and how they may use it to move forward. So that's what we're here. Thank you for giving us your time.
Well, I just want to say I appreciate you, and I also appreciate you just for the life lessons. I actually coach high school football, so a lot of this I've been taking back every day, and it pans out because our schedule is Tuesdays and Thursdays this week, so that's why I've been kind of leaving out kind of early. So just basically just make sure everybody like applying all the concepts that they've been using, all the life lessons, and not just listening to their story, but apply it to your own life, and don't be scared of looking in the mirror, and just not only just critiquing yourself, but also compliment yourself. You know what I'm saying? Give yourself a pat on the back, because a lot of people want to go around and critiquing, and I see people like sometimes in class, you can take a lot of things personal, you know what I mean? And sometimes you need those kudos. You need those times to uplift each other and build the organization to be something that you guys want. And the biggest lesson that I learned through this whole thing is, working on us is going to improve everything else around us. I even had my lessons of, damn, I always want to, like, just being a supervisor, I always want to be like, I want to make this person better so it make my life better. And, I've learned that some of the lessons that I picked up here, just working on me, there's a lot of things that I had to self-reflect, and I'm not the best leader. And it'd be the little detail stuff that they were touching on. The way that you guys broke it down, and we're not just looking at the big bold headlines, but the guts of all the headlines. That was the most important stuff. It wasn't the headlines and the catchy captions and it was the guts that was in there. And me looking around, like being in the front, and it's kind of looking around at reactions and people's faces. It was just like, wow, everyone's kind of like toned in, and I can see people get the wheels turning and things of that sort. So I just want to say appreciate y'all. Just just the welcoming that y'all gave me, because I'm not part of the organization. Just the talks, I definitely appreciate you. I don't know you from a can of paint, but just the fact that you were so transparent when he was talking, and he kind of opened up that floodgate, because you had to get that out. You know what I mean? Like I seen it in you. You was kind of holding it in. you know, so I've been thinking about it since it happened. You know what I mean? So it just make me just, you know, I always appreciate life, but it just really made me look at things and like, you know, you really gotta appreciate people. You don't know what your brother going through, and I'm big on that because of football. Just the brotherhood. Some of these kids, you know, they don't have father figures and mother figures at home. So when they see me, they see big brother, they see dad, and I can't be like, I'm not your father, I'm not your brother. So these lessons they really hit home. It's the ways that, there's different ways that I can be a role model, not just at work, but am I, you know, outside of this and just, you know, things of that sort. So, you know, I'm not all that well with putting the sentences together, so I'm just blabbering on.
Good.
Oh, we
But-
doing good.
But yeah, so, you know, it's touching me, you know what I'm saying, just being up here and like, you know, leaving here made me like, you know, I can't wait to get to those kids. You know, cause that's their outlet. The same way you kind of outlet, I'm like their outlet. You know what I mean? They get to be themselves and they get to see big brother. They get to see mom is at work all day. Dad is, you know, at work all day or not there, you know? Not that I'm trying to be biased with it, but you know, where I'm from, you know, it's not a whole lot of fathers. You know what I mean? So when I get to see them after the lessons that I was taught, I mean, my page is all folded up. I didn't bring a highlighter, but it's all folded up and where I kind of like, oh, this is important, and I kind of counted, it's like almost every damn page is flipped with a quote that I would bring back. You might have seen me over there with my phone taking pictures, because I'll forget. So people that I needed to know that needed some of them lessons, I ain't gonna forget this, screenshot it and send it right to them. So whether you at work, whether you busy, you gonna see that quote like eventually. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of important stuff. But yeah, I just want to say that, and you know, y'all got a great group here, great group of guys. I appreciate y'all like bringing me in, like as a family. I done been training down here like twice. You know, I'm always looking for the growth opportunities. So I just want to say I really, really appreciate y'all and appreciate y'all, you know, just giving me that opportunity.
Well, courteous of blue collar leadership, Mack and Ria, we're going to present you with the certificate of completion of this course. We thank you for coming.
Appreciate
Hope
you. For
hope
sure,
we get
for
you
sure.
some.
Yeah, I'm leaving. I gotta go to practice, so I gotta be on time. But parents, you know, they be cussing me out.
Eat ya.
It's the best way to describe, well, I guess just to say thanks to both of you for sharing your story. That's pretty hard. I would say it's like a bunch of puzzle pieces you got. You don't know exactly where they go and how they work, but listening to your stories, taking it in, you kind of pull them in to focus, and you kind of put them together. You kind of know where you're at, like you said, from here to there. You kind of fine tune yourself, you know, build it up. Definitely got to work on yourself, you know. That's a hard thing to do, hard thing to say. But yeah, I mean, I got a lot out of it, and I do appreciate it, and thank you too.
Thank you, Adam.
Well, let's see. To sum it all up, the books are good, coming from somebody that was secretly completely against it. When Bobby brought me in, told me he'd like me to sit in the book club, the readings, you know, I went along with it, and the whole time I was reading, I was like, man, I don't know, and I wasn't very supportive, and as time went on, I became more supportive. Now I'm to the point I like the books. I agree with the majority of the things in them, but I will say I think the seminar was better because we actually got to put, you know, live bodies and got their life experiences even more than what the books share with you. It forced me to look at myself, and you know, I thought I was a pretty good leader, but I was kind of a hybrid of a leader and a manager. And you know, through this, you know, I feel like to gain, because if you ask my staff, I would imagine there's going to be several of them there that like me and several of them that don't. That's just the reality of it. I may never get those folks to all be on board with, you know, liking me and missing me when I'm gone. But I know if I stay the way I am with, you know, like that hybrid, that management style, chances are I'm not gonna gain any ground. But if I can get myself transitioned into the leader, I feel like that some of those folks will probably be swayed, and it's gonna take some time. I got a couple more years left in me, but I think it's definitely worth the fight. Thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate it, and very informative. All right.
So I want to thank Ria and Mack and Bobby for setting all this up. I think without all three of you, this class wouldn't be possible. And I came in the county 9 months ago thinking that blue collar and working for the county was going to be very different than what it is that I'm going through now. And I think it's all because of the books that they're reading here. And now I see it. Going through the class, I see the difference that the books are making in me and in everybody that works here, which is a big thing because, like I said, coming in, I was like, different mindset coming here. So I'm very happy to be a part of this group, a part of MOPS. And I asked that question earlier about happiness and staying. And going through these 3 days has made my decision for the future very easy, which is going to be a big help down the road. I had a few quotes written down. I'm going to grab my book, which I think are really important to me and hopefully to other people. You know, character. I'm very big on character, and going through this class, character is a very big thing. You know, checkbook, calendar, and conversation says a lot about a person's values or a character. I love that quote. You know, I'm gonna take that and use it all the time. Another one was value being healthy, not eating healthy. This is more personal for some of us, but I love that quote as well. And another great one, as a leader, first to understand so you can be first to be understood. And I like those 3 things, and I'm gonna take away a ton more, but time is short, and I could read out quotes all day long, but we don't have 3 days. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to thank Mack and Ria, and I've been here 10 years, and I've never seen such a powerful presentation ever. I honestly haven't. It was fantastic. Thank you, Bobby.
First thing I'm gonna say thank you, Bobby, for bringing this. I think this is very good stuff for us. And then, I mean, I've been learning a lot for the past few years. We've been studying the books. I learned a lot. I mean, all this stuff you guys tell us about character, leadership. You don't have to be sick to be better. You know, things like that. You tell us. I mean, it's good stuff. You know, I know always I got room to improve myself. I just want to say thank you, Ria. Thank you, Matt.
I wrote mine down because I'll be all over the place if I don't. But if Mack has taught me anything, he's only got one thing to say, right? And it keeps on going. So that's my intro. That's how I keep going. But to me, this class was like the example they talked about with the Grand Canyon. You can walk up to it, you can view it, you can see it. But if you're not there personally, you're not involved in it, it means nothing. Nobody can describe what you're going to get out of it until you're in it. And that's this training. I've been reading the books, they're great. I truly believe and buy into the leadership role I'm getting off my book. But the training was way better than any book could be written. Referencing the materials, the stories were just, it was very impacting. And even more blessed is I've got to see it from 2 different sides of the street. Bobby is on his way out, where most people, like I've experienced in the military, is when you're 30 days out, the door is shut. I'm done working. But Bobby is still bringing in more bonuses, more benefits to us, and this was one of them. So for someone shutting the door and moving out, man, you're opening up books. You're opening up avenues. You're opening up a lot for everybody. That's humbling and that's a leader. So thank you. But Dave, you took mine. You don't need to be sick to be better. Very impacting. So thank you for everything. I really, really appreciate it.
wanna make sure the person you wanted to kill yesterday, Dwayne, wasn't me, right?
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. You're one of my top people.
Oh, Hey, I was just thinking that the day that Chad hired me, the day he called me and offered me this job, he said he said, you'll find that you'll get adopted by this organization. And I found that to be true. And Bobby in particular, MOPS has adopted me. But I think Dwayne and I don't directly work for MOPS, but we feel like we work for MOPS. And I think that says a lot about the organization. I think that everybody in here would agree that what Mack and Ria do is not, right? They're not breaking new ground here, right? There's nothing here that you didn't already know, I'm guessing, right? It all makes sense because you already knew it. But what they do, they package it into a way that's digestible and understandable and most importantly, relatable. I think that's great. So thanks, Mack and Ria. Appreciate it. Thanks, Bobby. Thank you.
Thank you. First of all, as many people know, I'm not a talker, I'm a listener. But when I do speak, I emphasize, a little bit more than I should at times. But, this book right here, the minute that you have wrote in the meetings we've been in, I don't get the whole chapter, but I get bits and pieces and I hold on to it. To sit up here and meet you two instead of hearing about you, it's a big difference. I finally got to meet you and you talk real stuff, down to earth reality. But your personal stories, that's what I like most because I can relate in so many ways. Still do. We all got things we need to work on. Myself, it's a work in progress. We'll never stop learning. We're gonna learn every day. But how we learn it and how we use it is two different things. It's not about you. It's not about them. It's about us. And I think if we can make each other better and work together, nobody be able to touch us. No one will never come close. So if I can better myself first, because you can't better no one else unless you work on yourself first. You gotta work on yourself, someone else, and let them carry it on. And when you bring that together, your life and your work ethic will be so much better. So thank you again, appreciate it, thank you too.
Appreciate it, Ellie, Chad, thank you very much for letting these people come in and really change our lives. What I got out of all of this was your passion. I went home last night, I told my wife all about it. She's all excited, I'm all excited, I'm wound up. I go in, I pull up your stuff, start talking to my wife about it. It hits home, it really does. I got a lot of stuff going on in my life, besides here. So if I can change it here, I can change it there. That's what I'm looking forward to. Thank you so much, because we're gonna follow you guys. We're gonna keep in touch with you, and we're gonna continue to grow. And just thank you from the bottom of our heart.
I'm like Gary. I went home, Max, and I played your little stunt with my wife, and it set her off. She says, "You ain't changing my kitchen around." And I just tried to prove to her that, turn around from the stove and putting it on the plate over here, and then the bread's over here, and the milk's in the refrigerator. I tried to show her that there was an easier way to do it. And she told me to get out of her kitchen. But my thing is, I started with Bobby with these books, and I appreciate Bobby starting with me. I think it helped me be a better leader. I've turned my group around to telling me what they want to do out in the field and how they want to put it together. And I think it's helped me a lot. The principle and values, yes, it's all there. I don't think I would. I've taken a lot of leadership classes here in the county, and they're nothing but click, click, click. You all hit down, hit home. Maybe understand a lot of things, and I appreciate it. Rita, could you come up here a second? I have something for you.
Okay.
This is for the ride home, because I'm sure you're going to hear a lot.
I want to thank you guys for coming again. And Ria, I missed your story yesterday, but Robbie showed me very powerful. Thank you. Mack, again, are you with me?
I'm with you,
I want you
man.
to hear me now.
I'm on
This
the
right
team.
here is powerful for me. So, I'm going to read an insert, little quote. I hate where it came from. And I'll give you the story. I think you might know the quote. Becoming a leader is a lifelong endeavor of study, of action, reflection, and refinement. Now, I hate where it came from. I wish it was an Army soldier. But it was Colonel Tom Conley, USMC. That was powerful to that. It was twofold when I seen it. Chad, our director, is a prior Marine.
Where's that devil dog been on you?
So that was powerful for me, and like it reflected right here, just that real quick blurb of what it is. It's a life endeavor. These building blocks, that's why I asked you that question, sustainability. So that's what it is. It's a lifelong endeavor. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to thank you guys. I've learned a lot in the last 2 days I was here. I was actually out on Tuesday. My wife had a car accident. But you could ask him, you could probably ask anybody. I was the biggest pain in the butt employee you could ever ask for.
You said you were?
I learned a lot. Didn't want to read your book. Didn't want to have nothing to do with it. And I hit that line, look in the mirror. And I was like, yep, I'm that bad employee. So I got involved in your books. I got involved in a lot of readings. I'm actually leading some readings now. So I felt really comfortable with it. I think the best one that hit me was, build trust with your crew and everything incorporate. You can't just be a leader here, but you can also be a leader at home. You guys have helped me a lot with that, just to be a good leader at home, a good leader here. And my favorite quote was, nothing fails like success. I just feel like that can go 100 miles. That can take me wherever I want to go. You can always fail, but you can always learn from failing. So I just want to thank you guys. Thank you, Chad. Thank you, Ellie. Thank you again.
Matt? First, I want to thank you guys for giving me and all of us the opportunity to grow. Knowledge is power, as we all know. And I took a lot of that with me, and I continue. The other thing is, you want to treat people like you want to be treated. If you can keep that going, that's going to really make a big difference in your lives. But all these things are helpful, and they'll continue to grow, and I'll continue to grow, which we all know. So, thank you.
I want to say thank you, Ria, Mack, Bobby, Murray, actually all you all. You all really made this class interesting, fun. The interaction is incredible. Mack, Ria, you just strengthened that foundation. Appreciate you too. Thank you.
So I want to first, thank you all. You all did great. Peter, Chad, what's your name, sir? I didn't catch your name. Stacy and Ellie. There's a couple things we went through. This is just one piece of it, but this one hit hard to me. So successful people, you're educated, you've climbed the ladder, you're wealthy, you seek comfort, and you're excited about retirement. You all agree to that, everybody? Well, they open up a whole different level of what success is. It's called significant. This is what significant is. You can never learn enough. You help others climb the ladder. You help others become wealthy. You seek growth, and you never want to retire. So that's just one piece of what we learned today. So imagine what everyone else is saying. Imagine what everyone else is saying. It's just so much information. You can't grasp it from what we're saying. You got to be a part of it. We all talked today. We would like to keep doing it. You guys would allow us. And Gary,
We know what you're going through. Okay.
I took a few notes too, over the last couple days. Some of these things I'll mention really stood out to me. Obviously, like you guys said, it's like a fire hose of information. Most of it goes by you. You try to open your mouth and get as much as you can, and I tried to, cast a net and catch some too. But it's never ending, and it's always there to go back and pick up whatever you missed. I really like the quote or the mindset of seek first to understand, then be understood. That really builds your trust and your relationship with whoever you're having a discussion with or anything like that. If you understand where they're coming from, then they can understand where you're coming from. It kind of does away with any possibility of miscommunications, maybe, or anything like that. It just really sets a good foundation. And speaking of foundation, motivation is the foundation of trust, and trust is the foundation of relationships. That's really strong. Something else on here that really stood out to me was, as far as this journey or climbing the mountain or whatever you want to call it, it's an endless journey. There is no finish line. There is no, you reach the top and you're good. You can settle for that, but if you want to be more impactful or influence others around you, it's never ending. It's continuous. You go back down, you grab the next person under you, you bring them up, then you go get another one. It's teamwork. It's better in each other. And on that aspect, I want to thank all of you. Thank you guys for starting this 3 or 4 years ago when we started. It's a great investment in all of us. I plan on building on that investment for the rest of my life. I believe a lot of us have a great foundation already, and we can do great things together here, and we will. We will continue on this legacy. And I also want to mention some of the lean factors that we learned about really caught my interest. I've spoken with some of the other classmates in here and who have similar interests as well, and we'd really like to see if we can explore that a little bit more, if leadership agrees to it. I believe we have always room for improvement, and we have the drive and the dedication to do it. So thank you all.
I got a lot out of this week from what I just heard. What Mack and Ria brings to the table, it wasn't surprisingly good because I went full in a few years ago. But that's just me, that's just me doing it. And we can read these books each week, and then we can get to this point where we ask our leaders, Chad, Stacy, Ellie, Randy, to approve for us to get training of such, buy 1,200 books to get these type of people here to talk to us. That's a big step. Not everybody gets that approval, and it's good for us if we use it. Don't let it, what Mack and I talked about earlier this week, is you get fired up, you go out here, you learn this, you identify that you're a shortfall, and you work on yourself to build that trust, to be a better leader instead of a manager or a boss, right? Don't let that go away. Think about this, continue to think about this in your day-to-day. It's hard. I fall short. I'm not nowhere near where I need to be. I know that. But these are the things that I know can help me as well as helping you. And I just enjoy sitting here today, looking around at the class all week long, 8 hours in class, lecture and discussions. A lot of times does what after lunch? People nod. I didn't see that the whole week, and I was looking for it, but it was impressive to how everybody was toned in and engaged, and the passion each of you showed. It was just great to see that. But Robbie, we don't have to have Chad, Ellie's approval, Stacy's approval to continue with this. That's up to us. We continue with this stuff. We already got it. We got it. Now, we need their permission to do more training, but let's start showing them, hey, it's working, let them see the dividends from it, and I guarantee you they approve more for it. And that goes with everything else, but, it was a good investment for this week. Thank you, Chad. Stacy, glad you come. Pete?
You're asking me today, what's the value in having consultants come in and talk to us about leadership? And it kind of took me back to someone to ask that question. I reflect back when you came the first time and you did the presentation and the training that Bobby's been part of with LEAD and that sort of thing. What's happening here today, and I don't know if y'all realize, is we're transforming the organization, we're changing the culture. We're becoming better as a collective whole. And when I go around and I talk to our employees, our new employees, what do you think of us? How are we doing? Do you want to stay here? What do you think their answer is today? What do you think it was probably 5 years ago?
That's different.
Huh? It's different. Everybody would say, I don't know, Jonathan, you've been here a long time. How much has this organization changed in the last 5 years?
A lot.
A lot.
On the positive side. Group involvement, teamwork, everybody pitching in.
So what you're doing today is transforming the organization, is turning that battleship from a direction that we didn't really want to go, people didn't want to be part of, in a new direction that people want to get on board. And that's a legacy. What you're building today is a legacy for what's going to be forever. Now, the person that replaces Bobby or replaces me or replaces whomever retires at some point, they're not going to know the foundation that you built here. But this is going to carry on for years to come. And it doesn't matter if they remember Mack's name or Rita's name or not. It doesn't matter. The culture's changed. So I appreciate everybody having the feedback and participating and getting something out of it. And so long as we continue to grow, I'm going to support this stuff. Flat out. So thank you.
Thanks, Chad.
I don't think it's very often that some of you get up and speak in front of a group like this, and I was really impressed that you all did it, and you probably didn't want to, and I think that says a lot about your leadership and also the training that's been given. I will tell you, your book had such an impact on me when I listened to it and read it, and I was driving to work and listening to it, and I liked the chapter so much I paused it. When I got in, there was somebody who I was working on what you said about, what did you say? Or what was your message, your takeaway was? I think the name of the chapter was, it's Bob, it's about Bob, something like that? Yeah, and it was his recognition that he needed to make a change, right? That was, that, Bob had a problem with Dave, Bob had a problem with Bobby, it's Bob. So I took it in and had him listen to it, gave him a copy of the book, and we never did anything like this. And so I think he enjoyed the book, but just like you all said, having this kind of engagement and experience was a lot more meaningful. So thank you all for participating and for your interest and for letting us be part of it, even just this end part.
Thank you for coming.
You're gonna have to make sure
That being said, guys, thank you. Don't stop here. You have to keep working on yourselves, and let's go slay that dragon.
That's right.
You with me?
I'm with you.
Thank you, Mack and Ria. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.